Welcome. My name is Braden McKenzie, and this is Essential Wrist Flexibility, Strength, and Health. So I'm going to move through all my favorite exercises in each category, and hopefully by the end of this, you can pick and choose what works best for you and what can most benefit your practice. So beginning with flexibility, come to the front of the mat, plant the hands on the ground, and one of the most important parts of these exercises, especially in the flexibility, is to maintain pressure down into the ground, doming up to the upper back, really active in the shoulders, never dumping into the shoulders, because anytime you can push into your body's memory to maintain activation in the shoulders, it'll benefit all parts of your practice, especially if you're into hand balancing. So I'm going to begin with some different types of leaning. So push down into the ground, dome through their back, slight tuck of the tailbone, and then just lean forward over your hands as far as you can go, and come back. And then just, you can even move with your breath. Aiming to repeat about 30 seconds through each exercise. Just moving forward as is comfortable for your wrists. You can even, when you're past your hands, use your fingers to push you back, building more strength in the hands every time you do this exercise. A few more times. Come back to center. Now from here, point the fingers towards the outside edges of the mat. Turn the eyes of the elbows inwards to face each other. And then just start to shift left and right. Again, using the strength of your fingers to push you from side to side. If you have too much sensation, you can move your hands farther apart. If you need a bit more sensation, you can bring your hands closer together and you'll get more of a stretch through the wrist. A few more times. Now maintain the side-to-side motion, but start to shift back towards your heels in a semicircular pattern up the other side, and then repeat. Just moving from left to right, working into a different angle of the wrist, and make sure to keep those eyes of the elbows turned inward. A couple more times. Now sit back towards the heels with keeping the hands planted and just move through a figure eight through the shoulders. One way and then the other way. Again, just working out different angles of the wrists. Come back to center. Turn your fingers to face your knees, keeping the hands planted on the ground. Maintain that activation through the shoulders. Inhale to shift slightly forward, and exhale to sit back towards the heels, keeping the hands planted on the ground, not lifting them. And just repeat that motion, moving with your breath. Inhaling forward, exhaling, sitting back. Once more. Again, once you're back at the heels, stay there. And start to do that figure eight motion through the shoulders again. Just a few times each way. Sit back on your heels, shake out the hands, relieve all the tension built up through those exercises. Shifting forward again, bringing the backs of the hands onto the mat this time, fingers facing in. Again, strong through the shoulders, turn the eyes of the elbows to face forward. Inhale to shift slightly forward, and then on an exhale, sit back towards the heels, turn the eyes of the elbows in to face each other. And then again, just move with your breath. Inhale, shift forward, eyes of the elbows forward. Exhale, shift back, eyes of the elbows in. Again, with this exercise, if you need more sensation, you can bring your hands farther apart. If you need less, you can bring your hands closer together. Whatever works well for you. A lot of things with the wrists are very personalized exercises, just depending on your level. One more time. Once you sit back to the heels, this time stay there, and then turn the fingers inwards and out, bringing the thumb side, edge of the hand down. And then just start to move the shoulders, moving into the wrists here. You can bend the elbows to get more sensation. I like to stay here and clench and unclench the hands, just working into the flexors and extensors. Come back to your tabletop. From here, bring the back of your right hand down onto the mat. Bring your left hand, palm facing down on top, and then just rotate through the elbow. Moving slowly, fully extended to bent. Just working into different types of exercises. You can stay at the top and shift your body over towards the left. Come back to center. Moving on. Left hand, back of the left hand down now. Right palm down on top. Pushing down into it, and then again, just rotate out through the elbow. Last one with the back of the hands. Bring both backs of the hands down to the mat again. And this time, instead of shifting back, we're going to bend the elbows, bring the face towards the hands, and then push back up. It's almost like a small push-up on the back of the hands. Usually move through this about 5 or 6 times. A lot of these back of the hand ones can feel a bit much in the beginning, but the more you do them, the more your wrists will get used to them. Moving on to strength. My favorite exercise being first knuckle raises. So from a tabletop position with the hands planted, dome through the upper back, lift your thumbs up off the ground, as we're not going to need them here. And from here, on an inhale, peel the heels of the hands upward so you're just on the fingers. And then to an exhale, at a 3 count on an exhale, slowly lower the heels of the hands back down to the mat. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, slowly lower. You really want to focus on the eccentric movement, the lowering, as that's where a lot of the work is. And if you're doing this one properly, you'll know, because your forearms will start to burn, especially if you're not used to it. This one in particular, I aim to do at least 3 rounds of 10 to 15 repetitions, depending on how comfortable you are with this exercise. This is one that will really benefit any hand balancers out there. You can even do this from a full plank position once you get up to that level. A few more times. Sit back on the heels, shake out the hands. Another one of my favorite ones, and you'll do this one from I'm gonna do this one from a squat position just to compound the exercise a little bit. Extend your hands out in front, and then you're just gonna fully flex your hands over and over again, moving for about 1 to 2 repetitions a second for about 60 seconds. This one really starts to burn the forearms if you don't do it very often. Really working the flexors. Oh yeah. Yeah, that burns. A few more seconds. And shake out the hands. Next exercise, come back to a tabletop. And from here, we're just gonna be lifting up onto the fingers of the right hand, onto the fingers of the left, down on the left, down on the right. Right, left, down, down, right, left, down, down, right, left, down, down. Doing it 10 times, starting with the right, and then 10 times starting with the left. Switching to the left. This is another one you want to definitely maintain full protraction through the shoulders. You can also do this from a plank position. If that one gets a little too easy, again, same thing, just aiming to repeat 10 repetitions per side, beginning with the left, and then beginning with the right or left. Next exercise, extend the arms out again, clench the fists, and from here, we're just gonna clench and point the fist toward the ground. Back to center, clench, point down. 10 times going down. And then 10 times going up. The important part being the clenching of the fists as you extend them upward. And rotate the arms in and up. Same thing, 10 up and 10 down. You should really feel this in the forearms also. And then bend to the elbows, bring the hands pointing towards the ceiling, and then same thing here. 10 in, 10 out. Turn the hands forward, 10 down, back. Shake the hands out. You can clasp the hands, roll through the wrists. One way, the other way. Final exercise, learned this from my teacher, Daniel Rama, probably my favorite one. For general wrist health that I do every day. From seated or standing, bend through the elbows, bring the hands into the sides, and then slowly clench and rotate the hands in and around as you extend the arms out to the sides. And then once you reach the end, rotate them the other way, bringing the hands back to center. Aiming to go through full range of motion in the hands from clenching, flexing completely out as you extend out towards the side. Trying to maintain tension through the whole arm, bicep, forearm, hands, wrists, through the whole exercise. That's where you'll find the most benefit. You can, not just doing out to the sides, you can also do forward, back, making sure to go internal rotation one way on the out, going out, and external rotation going in or going out. You can also go upwards. And if you're standing, you can even go down. And shake the hands out at the end. So those are all my favorite wrist exercises for flexibility, strength, overall general wrist health. So take any of these exercises that work best for you, build your own routine. I know I always include these before, not all of them, but a good amount of them for every hand balancing practice, every yoga practice. This joint is very important, and maintaining its health, strength, flexibility is it's only going to benefit your practice. So I hope this, I hope you learned something. I hope this is going to help you out, and look forward to seeing you again. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.